So the League Cup final has finished Newcastle United 0, Manchester United 2. Very disappointing. Newcastle United's first final for 24 years. The first trip to Wembley for 23 years. But it was a familiar result, a familiar feeling for Newcastle United fans, for those of us that can remember 23, 24 years ago. Very disappointing to not win the game. I feel like overall we actually played quite well in terms of defence and definitely in midfield. We had more possession. We played some lovely link-up play. Our ball retention was pretty good generally. Wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. But there's just... the final third is just massively problematic at the moment. And I don't want this video to be like a big rant about the team, because I feel like for a final we just need to kind of, certainly in the first instance, just look at it as a bigger picture, basically. And I feel like there's certain elements of the team that I'm concerned about. I'm going to make some videos about those things over the next couple of days, but this video is not really about getting into that kind of detail of those problems, because I feel like overall as a team we did all right. I think we had the better of it, certainly in the second half. First half was a bit, the game started off, first 20 minutes were kind of, both teams were all over the place trying to find their feet. Understandable in a final. Felt like we just got on top, and then we conceded two, I'm going to say, unlucky goals in both cases. The second goal was clearly unfortunate because of the deflection, and it went down as an own goal. The first goal, even though VAR ruled it onside, I really have an issue with that decision, based on kind of like, if you look at where the line was drawn on Casemiro's foot and where his sort of upper body was, that looks ahead of his foot. But listen, we know there's issues with VAR. Again, I can't really get into too much of a rant about VAR, even though I feel like it was controversial, to say the least. I feel like the fans have just done themselves so proud, and I was meant to be at Wembley today, and I wasn't there for various reasons, which I won't bore you with. But I have to say, I've been following it on social media, and obviously I've got my dad and my brother went, and so I've been keeping up to date with them, and it's just been really great to see thousands and thousands of Newcastle fans really enjoying themselves, having a great time, but also behaving themselves and giving us, like, the reputation of Newcastle fans generally has been a good one this weekend. We haven't embarrassed ourselves as a fan base, really, which I'm really grateful for. So well done to everyone who went. The thing with football, and for me this is huge, is football for me is about making memories, and it's about, those are big occasions, and Newcastle United, we haven't had those for too long, like 20 years since Champions League football and that sort of thing. We haven't had those big occasions very often over the last 20 years, and so yeah, we lost, but actually there's more to football than that, even though we want to win and we don't just want to go to make up the numbers. And our time will come, I do believe that, but I really feel like it's just great to have had a proper cup run, had a proper get to a final on merit. A really tricky cup run we had. It wasn't an easy run to the final. We played a lot of Premier League teams. We had to go through on penalties earlier on in the competition. We've really fought our way to the final and deserved our place there. Everything around that cup run, not just at Wembley this weekend, but also the semi-finals, the quarter-finals in particular, were just huge events at St James's Park, and it's just been great to have those big occasions, particularly for the younger generation of fans who've never experienced it. They have now joined the older generation of fans, and the even older generation of fans than even me, who felt that bitter disappointment of defeat. So that's we're all in the same boat now on that one, I suppose. But our time will come. The thing is, there is cause for optimism here, because as a football club, we are in good hands. We are in good hands with people who want to develop the club. And, you never know in football, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to take 23 or 24 more years to get back to Wembley again for a big semi-final or final. As I said earlier in the video, there is some issues with the team. that need addressing. I'm not going to go into them today because I don't feel like it's right to do that on this particular video. So I will do some videos over the next couple of days where I look at specific issues within the team that I feel are worrying and need addressing, particularly in the summer. And I'm also going to look at how we can how Eddie Howe can kind of address the lack of goals going forward with what he's got this season. But really, this video was just a quick reaction video to the final. Very disappointing. Didn't quite get the rub of the green, but I'm so proud of the club. I'm so proud of the fans. And, you know, these days will come more often. And, you know, one of these days we will win a match at Wembley. I'm sure of it. You just got to keep the faith and keep going. We're on a journey. And it's the journey that makes the destination great when you get there.